Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Sarabhyai Namaha Om Sarabhyai Namaha Om Sarabhyai Namaha Mukam karoti vasalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Sri Gurum Dinataranam Yat kripatamaham vande Sri Gurum Dinataranam Hare Krishna. Welcome to our Bhagavatam class. Reading from Canto number 4, chapter 20, which is entitled Lord Vishnu's Appearance in the Sacrificial Arena. So we are, let's see here, the prayers of Prithu Maharaj. I think we read the first one yesterday, which was text 23. Now we are reading 24. Na kamayi nata tad api aham kvachin na yatra yusmach charanam bhuja sabaha mahatamantar hridayan mukta chito vidhatsva karnayutam esha me varaha nakamayinata tadapyaham kvachin nayatra yusmach charanam bhujasabaha mahatamantar hridayan muktachuto vedatsva karnayutam eshame varaha nakamayinata tadapyaham kvachin nayatra yusmach charanam bhuja sabaha mahatamantar hridayan muktachuto vedatsva karnayutam eshame varaha nakamayinata tadapyaham kvachin nayatra yusmach charanam bhuja sabaha Mahatamantar Hridayan Mukhachito Vidatsva Karnayutam Shame Varaha Na, not Kamayi, do I desire. Nata, O Master, Tat, that, Api, even, Aham, I, Kvachit, at any time, Na, not, Yatra, where, Yusmat, your, Charana Ambuja, at the lotus feet, Asabaha, the nectarine beverage, Mahatama, of great devotees. Antaridayat, from the core of the heart. Mukha, from the mouths. Chuttaha, being delivered. Vidhatsva, give. Karna, ears. Ayutam, 1,000,000. Esha, this. Me, my. Varaha, benediction. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. My dear Lord, I therefore do not wish to have the benediction of merging into your existence, a benediction in which there is no existence of the nectarine beverage of your lotus feet. I want the benediction of at least 1,000,000 ears, for thus I may be able to hear about the glories of your lotus feet from the mouths of your pure devotees. Kindly repeat after me. My dear Lord, I therefore do not wish to have the benediction of merging into your existence, a benediction in which there is no existence of the nectarian beverage of your lotus feet. I want the benediction of at least 1,000,000 ears, for thus I may be able to hear about the glories of your lotus feet from the mouths of your pure devotees. Purport. In the previous verse, Maharaj Prithu addressed the Lord as Kaivalyapati, the master of the liberation of merging into his existence. This does not mean that he was anxious for Kaivalya liberation. That is made clear in this verse. My dear Lord, I do not want such a benediction. Prithu Maharaj wanted to have 1,000,000 ears to hear the glories of the lotus feet of the Lord. He specifically mentioned that the glories of the Lord should emanate from the mouths of pure devotees who speak from the cores of their hearts. It is stated in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam 1:1-3. Shukha mukhad amrita draba samyutam. The nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam became more relishable because it emanated from the mouth of Srila Shukadeva Goswami. One might think that these glories of the Lord can be heard from anywhere, from the mouths of either devotees or non-devotees. But here, it is specifically mentioned that the glories of the Lord must emanate from the mouths of pure devotees. Sri Sanatana Goswami has strictly prohibited hearing from the mouth of a non-devotee. There are many professional reciters of Srimad Bhagavatam who speak the narrations very ornamentally. But a pure devotee does not like to hear from them because such glorification of the Lord is simply a vibration of material sound. But when heard from the mouth of a pure devotee, glorification of the Lord is immediately effective. The words satam prasangam mama virya sambidaha Bhagavatam 3:25 mean that glorification of the Lord is potent when uttered from the mouth of a pure devotee. The Lord has innumerable devotees all over the world, all over the universe, and they have been glorifying the Lord since time immemorial and for an unlimited time. But still, they cannot completely finish enumerating the glories of the Lord. Prithu Maharaj therefore wanted innumerable ears, as Rupa Goswami also desired to have millions of ears and millions of tongues to chant and hear the glorification of the Lord. In other words, if our ears are always engaged in hearing the glorification of the Lord, there will be no scope for hearing the Mayavada philosophy, which is doom to spiritual progress. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that if anyone hears from a Mayavadi philosopher preaching about the activities of the Lord, even if it is a description from the Vedic literature, he is ultimately doomed. By hearing such Mayavad philosophy, one cannot come to the destination of spiritual perfection of life. Translation again. My dear Lord, I therefore do not wish to have the benediction of merging into your existence, a benediction in which there is no existence of the nectarian beverage of your lotus feet. I want the benediction of at least 1,000,000 ears, for thus I may be able to hear about the glories of your lotus feet from the mouths of your pure devotees. We were mentioning how that is one of the 9 activities of devotional service. Offering of prayers, vandanam. And it is also one of the very important activities that whenever devotees come together, they are meant to especially remember and discuss either the pastimes of the Lord or the pastimes of His pure devotees. Both are actually very effective. Just like every day we recite, Nasta prayesha badrishu nityam bhagavata sevaya. So there is, there are the transcendental literatures that are directly describing the unlimited pastimes of the Lord, and then there are His devotees, His pure devotees, who also become part of the Lord's pastimes and are also glorified by other devotees. So the point is being made here how when we have the great fortune of beginning to understand the personal aspects or the personal attributes of Godhead, then the impersonal aspect becomes, we could say, distasteful. And as also warned here in the purport by Srila Prabhupada, which was one of the very strong instructions given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We should be very cautious in hearing subject matters, spiritual subject matters, from those who are not Vaishnavas. Hearing of Mayavada philosophy is extremely dangerous. And there is the story of one of the close associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mukunda. He was so eager to hear Bhagavatam that sometimes he would go and hear from Mayavadis. When this news came to the ears of Lord Chaitanya became very upset. And he actually instructed the devotees, you tell this Mukunda that he can no longer come to see me, and that he will only see me after 1,000,000 births, something like that. The devotees actually became very morose. They were very sad to hear this news that Lord Chaitanya was banning Mukunda from his association. And when they approached Mukunda and shared this information, to their surprise, when he heard that Lord Chaitanya will grant me darshan after 1,000,000 births, he became very jubilant. He became jubilant because he he understood that he was not totally rejected by the Lord, and that one day he will again have the association of the Lord. So this is the mood and the mentality of devotees. They are anxious, just like now. We were mentioning a few days ago how there are more and more memories of Srila Prabhupada, and because Srila Prabhupada, as we all know, is a very special personality for all the members of the Krishna consciousness movement. And hearing about the various pastimes and how Srila Prabhupada dealt with different situations, different devotees, even devotees who had very little association with Srila Prabhupada, they cherish even short association with Srila Prabhupada. And there are hundreds, just like here Kritu Maharaj is praying for the benediction of having at least, he says, at least 1,000,000 heirs. So that, because the pastimes of the Lord are unlimited, and it's just like even the pastimes of one pure devotee of the Lord, like Srila Prabhupada, are so many that in one lifetime we cannot hear all of them. What to speak of the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is performing unlimited pastimes. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam. He has unlimited forms, and he appears, it is described like the waves in the ocean, cannot count, always appearing. And in all of these different incarnations, the Lord performs wonderful pastimes that are very attractive to his devotees. So, one of the points being made in the purport here is that the more we give attention, the more we make an effort to hear about the Lord, to hear about the Lord's devotees, to hear about the mission of the Lord, then we will not allow our ears to engage in non-devotional activities. But just like the mission of the Lord, which is taken up by His pure devotees, the mission of the Lord is the most important activity or mission that is going on the planet. And there are so many, every single day, so many activities taking place of devotees engaging in all kinds of preaching activities. So it means that if we absorb ourselves in these type of activities, then we will not be allured or affected by Maya. So in this way, Prithu Maharaj is nicely expressing his desire to be able to hear always about the Lord and His unlimited pastimes. So let us hear about the ongoing prayers of Prithu Maharaj. So this was text 24. Text number 25. Sa uttama sloka mahan mukhachuto bhavat paramboja sudha kanadilaha smritim punar vismrita tattvabart manam kuyoginam no vitarat chalam varai. My dear Lord, you are glorified by the selected verses uttered by great personalities. Such glorification of your lotus feet is just like saffron particles. When the transcendental vibration from the mouths of great devotees carries the aroma of the saffron dust of your lotus feet, the forgetful living entity gradually remembers his eternal relationship with you. Devotees thus gradually come to the right conclusion about the value of life. My dear Lord, I therefore do not need any other benediction but the opportunity to hear from the mouth of your pure devotee. Purport. It is explained in the previous verse that one has to hear glorification of the Lord from the mouth of a pure devotee. This is further explained here. The transcendental vibration from the mouth of a pure devotee is so powerful that it can revive the living entity's memory of his eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In our material existence, under the influence of illusory Maya, we have almost forgotten our eternal relationship with the Lord. Exactly like a man sleeping very deeply who forgets his duties. In the Vedas, it is said that every one of us is sleeping under the influence of Maya. We must get up from this slumber and engage in the right service, for thus we can properly utilize the facility of this human form of life. As expressed in a song by Thakur Bhakti Vinod, Lord Chaitanya says, Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago. The Lord asks every sleeping, living entity to get up and engage in devotional service so that his mission in this human form of life may be utilized. This awakening voice comes through the mouth of a pure devotee. A pure devotee always engages in the service of the Lord, taking shelter of his lotus feet. And therefore he has a direct connection with the saffron mercy particles that are strewn over the lotus feet of the Lord. Although when a pure devotee speaks, the articulation of his voice may resemble the sound of this material sky, the voice is spiritually very powerful because it touches the particles of saffron dust on the lotus feet of the Lord. As soon as the sleeping living entity hears a powerful voice emanating from the mouth of a pure devotee, he immediately remembers his eternal relationship with the Lord, although up until that moment he had forgotten everything. For a conditioned soul, therefore, it is very important to hear from the mouth of a pure devotee who is fully surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord without any material desire, speculative knowledge, or contamination of the modes of material nature. Every one of us is kuyogi because we have engaged in the service of the material world, in the service of this material world, forgetting our eternal relationship with the Lord as his eternal loving servants. It is our duty to rise from the kuyoga platform to become suyogis, perfect mystics. The process of hearing from a pure devotee is recommended in all Vedic scriptures, especially by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One may stay in his position of life, it does not matter what it is. But if one hears from the mouth of a pure devotee, he gradually comes to the understanding of his relationship with the Lord and thus engages in his loving service. And his life becomes completely perfect. Therefore, this process of hearing from the mouth of a pure devotee is very important for making progress in the line of spiritual understanding. Yeah. We will close here for today. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Gaura Pimanandi.